Okay, so I'm not sure how much I've done since the last time. I think I put the water pump on, and I worked on the serpentine belt tensioner, because the original design has this little piece of like aluminum strap that holds it together, and it's locked in with a pin, and when you install it you take that pin out and it gives tension. It makes for ease of installation. That's, I think, the intended purpose of it, is to make installation easier. But they always break every time you take them off. It's really, I mean, you could probably take them off without breaking them. I don't know how. So what I did, since I removed and replaced all the head bolts, I took a head bolt and cut it off. Cut like, I don't know, an inch or so off. Cut it off right about there. And then I cut all that strap off and threaded. I drilled a hole through it and threaded the head bolt. So now, I don't know if I can do this. Hold on a second. I'm going to try to set up my camera so you can see. So I can put this down. I'll switch the camera angle. Hold on. There, I think I'm recording again. So it should still move. I did have to drill that out bigger, that hole, but with that threaded in there, it should still move freely, and it flexes a little bit, just like the strap intends to do. And when this has tension on it, should be fine, I think, but we'll find out when it's under load. So that's the modification you can do if you are able to tap your own shit. Pardon my language. But the head bolt is, at first I thought it was an M10 or an M12 1.5 pitch, which is, I believe, just a standard SAE thread pitch. SAE. So like mechanics have their own pitch, which is different from like National Pipe Thread, but it's similar. Actually, I think a few of them make crossover. I'm not sure. So I'm sure there's probably someone that knows more about that than me that could answer that question. But anyway, turns out it's actually a 10, 1.5. So I got this from Harbor Freight. It was like $20. Now, it was one of the few that I could find that had the right size, because it's not like, you can't just get it at Harbor Freight, or I'm sorry, at like Lowe's, or I went to Tractor Supply. Actually, Lowe's might have them. I don't know, but they probably, like, home places are more typically going to carry like National Coarse thread or National Fine, which is slightly different. Then there's, I think, another one, which is what plumbers use. So anyway, I got this at Harbor Freight. It worked pretty good. Well, the taps on them are solid, good taps, but the little tools that they give you, not so much. So I wound up having this little T-handle from another set. Well, this was actually a failure on my part. I was bottoming out here because I had too small of a hole. I didn't want to make too big of a hole and then have the threads barely catch, so I went small, but then my tap kept bottoming out, and then I'd have to file it down. So yeah, there's work involved. It's not just so easy. Like, if you had a real machine shop, you'd probably do this really nice. You know what I mean? But depending on what you're working with at home, it might be a little more difficult. But just saying, if you got like a drill, you can get a drill at Harbor Freight too, I guess. I'm really trying not to plug Harbor Freight, but I'm plugging Harbor Freight because you can get a lot of stuff that you need there. And I mean, yeah, some of it's kind of hit and miss, but like some of it also fucking comes through. You know what I mean? That's good steel. That, not so much. Actually, I think that's aluminum. That's probably the problem. Yeah. And now I got a nice little chunk of aluminum. I'd like to make it crucible and melt that down. That'd be fun. So, I got this thing soaking with a little bit of engine degreaser. I'm going to clean it up because it's pretty gross. My hands are all gross. Should have put on gloves. But I'll probably do all of this off camera. Just clean it up a little bit, and then I'm probably going to tighten this down just a little bit more. I got a bunch of stuff I got to tighten on the front, on the timing chain cover. Put the water pump in. I put the crank position sensor in. I've got the harmonic balancer on, but I gotta put that bolt on. I gotta turn it over before I tighten everything up. I gotta turn it over, make sure I know the timing's good, but always test your timing after you mess with the cams and stuff. Roll it over. Don't just assume you did the job right. Make sure, especially on an interference head, because if you go to, like, this is an interference head, which means if you have the timing off, the valves could potentially and will most likely eventually hit the cylinder. I'm sorry, the piston head, or I guess the piston, and then you'll have catastrophic failure, and that's not good, because then it's basically just a giant brick. And to be honest with you, I don't know how much life I'm going to get out of this car. It's got new seals and stuff, but it's an aluminum head, and it's been torqued down a couple of times now. And I don't know how much life those threads have in them. You know what I mean? They worry me. So, but everything should be running loose because I mean, the engine's got like 150,000 miles on it. So, I don't think, I mean, loose isn't always a bad thing. You know what I mean? Sometimes that's good, efficient. But anyway, that's it for now. I'll go ahead and post this one. Dictated, not read. You know. And yeah, so I just wanted to show you that. Toyota 2.4 liter 4-cylinder engine, the Serpentine belt tensioner. This is the fucking way, man.